To working on the motor and getting into that. So just took stock of it to begin with and made sure that the pulleys spin freely. Listened to the bearings, they sound pretty smooth. And so I just wired up a cord to the leads as directed on the motor nameplate, and then I just plugged it in here. I've just got a long cord that I'm using, and then this will be the cord for the saw eventually. And so you can hear it right now. It's running. It's running smooth, no vibration. So I'm going to let it run here about 10 minutes, and then I'll check back in and see how it's doing, if it's warm, if there's any problems. But right now, this looks like good news. This is always the question when you get a saw and have a motor to evaluate. So we'll let it run for a while and I'll check back in. While the motor is running during this test 10 minutes, it's also a good time to clean up the pulley. In this case, I'm just carefully using some sandpaper and some wire brushes to clean off the rust. And while that pulley's spinning, is a good time to do so. The motor does the work for you. You can see there I'm just testing to see how warm it is, and throughout this test it maintained a smooth spin and seemed to be a pretty consistent temperature, so that's a good sign. So we're just cleaning things up here, and then we'll see what it's like after those 10 minutes. Okay, so it's 10 minutes later. The motor is still running very smoothly, and it is not overheated. It's warm, as motors will be after running for a little while. But this is good. Good sign. So I think this motor will just be a little bit of a cleanup, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so after the motor test, know that it runs now and it wasn't overheating after 10 minutes of running. Smooth, runs smooth. So now I just took off the junction box and the capacitor, cleaned out all the sawdust out of those things, and sanded it a little bit. I'm going to put a fresh coat of paint on it. And with these older motors, you do want to be careful with the leads. Sometimes this insulation starts to crack, and so you don't want to move them around more than you have to. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I'll paint this up and be good to go.